So, you're finally ready to start your social media marketing agency. In today's video, I'm going to give you 3 tips to keep in mind before you actually start your agency so that you can avoid the typical mistakes that most people make and actually get ahead. Let's go.
Running through the 6 with my woes. Count money, you know how it goes.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to today's video. Once again, this is 3 tips when starting your social media marketing agency, how to avoid failure and actually get ahead. So let's jump straight into it. So guys, first of all, the reason why I made this video is because I see a lot of people who are looking to get started with their agency, or people who are actually getting started and launching it. I see so many common mistakes that can easily be avoided with just a little bit of extra planning and taking the time before you actually get your agency off the ground and start trying to get clients. So let's jump straight into the very first tip that I have for you guys, and I really strongly suggest that you guys take this into heavy-duty consideration. So number 1, clearly define your value proposition. So what exactly does this mean, right? So I see a lot of people who they're like, all right, you know what, screw it, it's time to get started. I'm going to start my social media marketing agency or my digital marketing agency, and I'm going to go offer social media marketing. Okay, or I'm going to go offer digital marketing. Okay, and what exactly does that mean, right? So guys, remember, you're going to be talking to fellow business owners, not consumers who may or may not be too knowledgeable about certain things. So you're going to be talking to business owners who I've been around the block a few times, as they say. They've heard certain pitches before. They get pitched all the time. So you've got to have a clear value proposition, clearly state exactly what it is you do and what you offer and why they should listen to you and why it is so valuable. So yeah, what are you offering, right? You have to understand, okay, you can't just be a digital marketing agency. You have to clearly offer certain services that bring an extreme or a high amount of value to another business. So for example, that may be Facebook ads, or that could be strictly SEO, right? You could just be a freaking SEO wizard, or you could have a team that is a team of SEO wizards and you strictly do SEO, right? Or you only do Google AdWords, or whatever the case may be, or maybe you do a few of those. Just clearly define exactly what you're going to be offering. Also understand why a business owner should go with you, right? Maybe you have a certain process that you go through with, say, Google Ads that has just completely kicked ass for you in a good way, and you've gotten insane results for the businesses you've worked with. Or obviously, if you're just starting out, that's not the case for you. But you could be really good at a particular service, and that's part of your value proposition, right? You excel at X service, and you're offering this service, and it's going to greatly benefit your business. That's what you would typically say. Well, not what you would say, but what you really have to understand when you're going after to try to get clients. So also, guys, this is actually probably the biggest part of this particular tip, is what problem are you solving, right? Guys, and I think I've said this in at least one other video, no, for sure, potentially 2, I think, on the channel. So, and I have to hammer it home again, because, guys, I see far too many people going, well, I'm going to offer this service. So you go to a business owner and say, okay, hey, Mr. Business Owner, I can run your Facebook ads. Okay, and what the fuck does that do for me, right? But if you say, Mr. Business Owner, you are missing out on a ton of potential revenue and customers because you don't have a pixel set up on your site, and you're getting a ton of traffic to your site, but you're never getting a chance to get in front of those people again, and essentially you're leaving a ton of money on the table. I can help you recover that money and actually, drastically increase your ROI on not just your ad spend, but your overall revenue for your business. Oh, okay, now that's a little different. Now that makes sense, because you're actually solving a real problem and you're explaining why that solution is so valuable. Makes sense, guys? So clearly define your value proposition before you actually go out and start trying to get clients, which leads me right into the second tip, which is plan out your client acquisition strategy. I'm just going to move myself here. So I see this far too often, guys. People just say, okay, I'm going to go get clients. Maybe I'll do some couple cold calls. Maybe I'll apply for some jobs on Upwork. Probably shoot a couple Facebook messages out to businesses, hit up some people on Instagram, LinkedIn, whatever the fuck. clearly define, or not clearly define, but clearly plan out your client acquisition strategy from A to Z, exactly how you're going to get your first client, and from there how you're going to continue to scale. So you got to understand, like, what method of prospecting are you actually going to use, right? I would strongly suggest, especially in the beginning when you're first starting out, test a few different methods, right? See what really works well for you, and go all in with that one method. It's essentially the same thing with marketing. When you're running, 5 different ad campaigns for the same objective, you're doing what's called split testing. And once you figure out which ad is working, then you cut everything else out and scale up on that ad. It's the same concept here. Test a few different marketing strategies, or in this case, client acquisition strategies and prospecting methods. See which one is working the best for you. Cut out all the other methods and scale up on that one till you get a couple clients, and then you can afford to test other methods. That makes sense, guys? You gotta ask yourself, like, how am I actually going to get a client? Right? Like, I am just out here in the cold. How am I going to go ahead and convince a business owner to pay me $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 a month? Do the math. This is going to be very fun that we're about to do. I'm going to walk you guys through some math here for, as you know, my particular strategy of choice for prospecting, which is cold calling. It's how I've grown my agency, and it's just my favorite method of prospecting and talking to people. So let's do some cold call math here. If you do 50 cold calls a day, and guys, this is probably the average. You really should not be doing anything less than 50. If you can do more, of course. 50 is a good sweet spot, because once you start to hit like 60, 70, 80, you kind of get into that burnout range, which you don't want. You don't want to burn out too quickly and early on. So 50 is a good medium. You guys can definitely hit 50 calls a day, which if you do that 5 days a week, comes out to about 250 calls a week. Now, I'm going to say you have an average conversion percentage of about 10%, right? Meaning you are converting 10% of all of your cold calls into actual appointments, which means if you are making 50 calls a day, you're getting about 5 appointments a day. Or if you're making 250 cold calls over the course of a week, you're getting about 25 appointments per week. Obviously, this depends on your ability to cold call, how many people you can actually get through, et cetera, But this is cold, hard, just raw numbers, guys. And really, sales is a numbers game, which is, this is sales, guys. You are in sales. You're selling a service. The only difference is you're not selling for a company. You're selling for yourself. But it's the same concept. So let's get into closing percentage. If we keep these numbers intact, right, meaning you're getting, sorry, guys, don't mind the ambulances. Meaning you're getting about 25 appointments per week, and let's say you have an average closing percentage of about 10%. Meaning, guys, I just don't feel like editing the video today, so give me like 2 seconds. Fuck, I can't. Okay, now that fucking ambulance is gone. So again, let's say you are converting your calls at about 10%, meaning you're getting about 25 appointments a week, and let's say your average closing percentage is about 10%, which is a little bit on the lower end, but I like to be conservative, so let's just say 10%. If you're getting 25 appointments a week and you're closing about 10% of those, that means you're getting about 2 to 3 new deals per week, meaning you're signing 2 to 3 new clients a week. This obviously depends on your abilities and stuff like that, but the good thing about this is it only starts to increase over time as you build your sales pipeline. So guys, I just want you to see that this is possible. When you actually put the work in and put the numbers in, it's so doable. So yeah, guys, it's 100% possible. Now, number 2. Sorry, I meant to put number 3. That's a typo. So you have to have an onboarding process in place, guys. Guys, sorry about that. I was just charging my computer. So yes, you need to have an onboarding process in place, meaning, when you actually get a client and they decide to go with you, you need to have a set process in place, from step 1 to step 10, so to speak, of what actually happens once you get a client. This is something that a lot of people mess up on. And this is actually something I messed up on early on in my agency. Was I would just kind of like, again, don't get me wrong, the onboarding process I had in place wasn't terrible, but it really wasn't much of an onboarding process at all. I was just kind of like, here's my PayPal link. As soon as you send the money over, I'll start working. They sent it. I sent them a text back or an email back saying, awesome, got it. I'll begin working on your stuff. I mean, again, it's not terrible, but it's really not, it doesn't give off the air of this person has an agency, a real company, they have a process in place, they've done this before, this is something they, it's nothing new for them. That's the kind of vibe and air, so to speak, that you really want to give off, guys. Now, you need to know exactly what to do once you get a client, right? You got to know, okay, how do they pay me? What happens once they pay me, etc., etc. You really want to make sure you fulfill the orders/services on time. Don't leave too much time lingering in between once they actually pay you. And also have strong communication, guys. A lot of times I've worked with people that they told me they got a client and then they just kind of like didn't really say much for about a week or two. Like, you want to keep some communication. Obviously, you don't have to talk every day, and every minute, every hour, but it's just a little bit here and there, like, hey, such and such, I just want to give you a heads up, give you an update, we're doing such and such, and campaign should be live by this date. Just have some form of communication. And lastly, guys, do the work. Especially if you're first starting out, you want to actually get started on the work right away. It's just how you should be doing things early on. In your agency, once someone pays you, guys, get started on the work. Don't be like, oh, this motherfucker paid me, I'm gonna chill out, I'm just gonna wait a little bit, do the work when I feel like it. No, you guys, trust me, do the work right away. Start working on their funnels, their ads, whatever it is you're doing for them. Now, obviously, when you start to grow your agency and you start to hire a team of people that actually fulfills your orders, it's a little different. Process becomes a bit more automated. Obviously, that's for people that are at an established point in their agency. For example, I have a full team that actually fulfills my orders, for me. As soon as you guys saw it. You guys saw the the onboarding funnel that I have in the other video. If you guys want, I would actually strongly suggest you pick that up. It's the video is called My Exact Client Onboarding Funnel. You can see it on my channel. It's literally the exact funnel that I use to onboard every single one of my clients. It's super kick-ass. It's simple, but it looks really clean and professional. So if you guys want that, you can pick it up in the other video. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for today. Again, let's just kind of recap the 3 tips. So we have clearly define your value proposition, right? What are you offering? What are you doing? What problem are you solving? Why is this valuable to another business owner, right? Plan your client acquisition strategy. How are you actually going to start getting clients? Do some math with cold calling, right, guys? If you take a look at this math one more time, you can legitimately close 1 to 2 to 3 deals per week. It's possible, guys. It's 100% doable. You just have to have the right process in place. Once you have that and you actually put the work in, it works, guys. It fucking works. All right. And lastly, number 3. Again, this should have been number 3. It's a typo. Have an onboarding process in place. Just know what you're going to do once somebody decides to get started with you and actually pays you for the work. Now, guys, go make it happen. What are you waiting for? Stop watching my videos. No, I'm just kidding. I still want you to watch my videos, but I still want you to make it happen even more so than I want you to watch my videos. So go make it happen, guys. I'm giving you guys a ton of stuff here on this channel for you to run with. I really hope it helps. I would love your guys' suggestions and feedback in terms of what you would like me to make some videos on. I get tons of questions all the time, but I would really like some feedback from you guys on what you have outstanding questions on, even if it's something super, or something that seems super small, like, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head, but I would love to get some feedback from you guys once again. So if you guys could leave a comment and just say, hey, could you make a video on how to do X, or could you make a video on this or that or that? And literally, guys, if you leave a comment, I will make a video on it, like, as soon as I see it. Like, that's how I work. So I'm not just gonna like see your comment and be like, I'll see if I want to make a video on that. No, I'm gonna actually make a video on it. So once again, leave a comment. Guys, that's it for today. So also, one more thing, if you have not gotten my free sales course, you should pick it up. I've gotten insane feedback from it, and again, guys, it's a free course, and I'm giving away like ridiculous value in it. It's absolutely stupid. I literally give you exactly how I prospect, how I outreach and talk to business owners, how I close deals. It's fucking crazy. I probably should be charging for it. Oh well, I'm not. So you should definitely pick it up. Once again, if you are starting your agency, or even if you have an agency but you maybe feel stuck, or you kind of want to improve your processes and stuff like that, again, go pick it up. So that's it. Go get it. Link in the description. You know where it's at, and I will see you in the next video. I'm out.
Exposed. I want that Ferrari, then I swear. I want that Bugatti just to hurt.